Its mission is to use and promote peaceful dispute resolution processes throughout our community with the goal of reducing the potential for violence. The Center for Dispute Settlement has been an important resource for Rochester for more than 40 years. And here to tell us more is Donna Durbin, Director of Monroe County Community Programs, and Cheryl Hayward, Police and Community Relations Advocate at the Center for Dispute Settlement. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
How did the Center for Dispute Settlement get started?
We actually started in the 70s. In 1973, we were established as a result of some violence was going on with some busing issues. And it was started as a program to work with people to see if an agreement could be reached to resolve some of the serious issues so that the violence would stop, and actually continued to serve the community with mediation and arbitration, starting out obviously very small, and growing to include 8 counties now.
Oh, wow. So not unique to Rochester. Rochester was where it started, though.
Yeah, we were the first in New York State, the 3rd dispute resolution center in the country.
Wow.
A lot of what has happened in New York State has been as a result of what we have done here in Rochester.
As a model.
Yes.
Very nice. What are some of the programs that are offered?
Well, we offer a variety of programs dealing specifically with conflict resolution. We do peer mediations in the city school districts. We also do family, community dispute resolutions, as well as workplace. And so we do things like arbitration, police and community relationships. And so we focus really on a lot of things that assist our community members in handling conflict resolution issues.
What happens at a mediation when a group comes in, 2 parties come in?
So normally mediation is always volunteer, and so the parties have the option to choose to mediate, whether it be court suggested or they call our agency specifically. And so we kind of screen the parties to ensure that it's an appropriate situation, because again, our goal is never to put either party at risk or to make it be a situation where anyone feels re-victimized. And so we do the screening, and each party, they have to agree to want to mediate. And so they come on in, and we provide a trained mediator who is a trained neutral, as we call them, to facilitate the conversation. And it really is a conversation that allows each party to really have a chance to be heard and then, listen, and so the other party. So it's kind of like a reflective thing where each party has the opportunity to say, this is what's affecting me based on what's going on with us. And then that party can either respond in terms of, well, I didn't understand that, or this is why I chose to act this way or whatnot. So it gives them the opportunity to really problem solve themselves without anyone specifically being the problem solver.
So mediators probably have extensive training to handle all different types of situation. How does training go for them?
We actually accept mediators with a wide variety of backgrounds. There is no requirement for what people have to have for education or training. They call us because they've heard about our program and they would like to take a training, which is a basic 30-hour training. And then we offer an apprenticeship where they would work with a certified mediator, and eventually once they finish that apprenticeship, they can also take advanced trainings for some of our specialized programs like custody and visitation mediation or divorce mediation.
And Cheryl, you mentioned that you work with the school district often. Do you go into the schools or do they come to you?
Well, we go into the schools and we provide programming and training to the students to teach them how to be mediators in their particular schools. So to identify and help the students themselves address issues such as bullying, gossip, or some cultural or ethnic issues that may be happening in there. And so we put the power back into the students' hands and the district hands to ensure that simple issues don't lead to violent issues. issues for them. And I think it's an empowering thing for the students to be able to sit and be able to be that neutral to help their friends, resolve an issue that, oftentimes it's the simple things that turn into big things and, lead to major issues.
How did the students respond? What did they tell you about the skills that they've learned and when they have had to put them in place?
Well, they definitely all started out really nervous, because they're like, oh my gosh, this is, my friend and you want me to go in. But I think they learn, at least what we've heard, is just the skill in being able to listen and then being able to kind of reflect the information, and then the fact that they're able to see the change happen within their friends during the conversation. It's really empowering for them, and it just kind of reassures their commitment to the process.
What other community organizations do you work with?
Actually, in all of our counties, we have a number of agencies, organizations that we work with. Many of our cases are referred from the court, although that's not necessary for people to come to mediation. We are getting referrals from tenants and tenants associations, small claims court. We may get minor criminal matters. Family court will refer a number of things for parents. Maybe people have heard about us. A lot of counseling agencies and social agencies may suggest that people may want to sit down with a mediator and try to work on whatever the concern or dispute is that they're having.
And Cheryl, for you, what are some of the specific things you do to help maintain positive police and community relations?
Well, one of the things that we definitely do is we try to do community conversations, and that's where we invite the citizens in specific neighborhoods. So we try to work on the 4 quadrants, and we offer those meetings in the neighborhood service centers that's there, and also the neighborhood community centers. And we invite law enforcement officials and citizens to come in and have a conversation. And that conversation is pretty much theirs. We don't typically direct it, but it really allows citizens to ask questions, and it also allows police officers to ask questions, understand what citizen concerns are, or maybe the point of view, and it allows everyone to either dispel myths or gain new information as well. We also offer something that we call police conciliation, and that's where if someone comes into our office and they want to file a complaint, and depending on the situation, we offer them the opportunity to have a conversation with that officer. And so, again, it's a direct point for them to gain understanding and understand how each other's behavior, response, or situation led to this particular moment where they felt that they either had a negative impact or a negative interaction with the officers. And so just keeping the line of communication open, we found that especially when we do those large community conversations, both the officers as well as the citizens that participate really walk away with a better understanding of each other's issues, viewpoints, and concerns, as well as some of the needs that, the citizens may have.
How have the programs changed over the year to meet the needs of the community, such as community police relations?
I think when we started, we probably had 7 employees, and I said we are in 8 counties now, so we've grown quite a bit. I think we have 25 employees now in various areas. Our early years, we really only had a few programs where we were working with juveniles in schools and also with matters referred from family court, and we expanded that to our community program where we were dealing with citizens who had either an issue or a concern with a civil matter or even a criminal matter. Our police community relations program it may be the oldest in the state as well. There are a lot of programs that have been modeled across the state with what we did here as well. Probably our family programs are among our newer programs, even though they started in the 80s and 90s, but working with couples with custody and visitation matters, looking at how they can resolve issues with them for their children, and also divorce mediation, where people are concerned about not wanting to take their matter to court and are able to say, we'd like to preserve the relationship that we have, we can't be together, but we want to work with a mediator to empower ourselves to come up with our own divorce agreement.
Finally, why is this so important for Rochester?
I think the opportunity that our agency offers really puts the power back into people's hands. And I think when people feel empowered, they're more willing to make a change and be a part of whatever change needs to happen. And I think in all our programs, we give that person a voice, right? And Donna, you can add to this, but especially in our work in the Police and Community Relations program, we really empower our citizens to say, you know what can I do to impact change in our RPD officers? And then it's a joint relationship. So I think the center really does a great job when we look at how do we affect change through opportunities for conflict resolutions and allowing people to make those decisions and come up with their own resolutions.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Again, the Center for Dispute Settlement is located at 16 East Main Street in Suite 800. For more information, give them a call at 585-546-5110 or visit cdsadr.org. Thank you for joining us on this edition of CityWise. I'm Tiana Stevens, and we'll see you next week.